Okay. So we can move to our next paper. The title of our next paper is Retaining Women in Computer Science, the Good, the Bad, and the Ugly Sides. And the authors are Simona Motogna, Lenuta Alboaie, Ioana Alexandra Todericiu, and Catrinel Zaharia. I hope I pronounced them correctly. So I would like to invite the authors to participate there, to present their paper, and I would like to thank you, Catrinel, for your wonderful presentation.
Yes, thank you.
Hello, everyone. Can you let me know if you see my screen and you hear me?
Yeah,
cool.
We can see and we can.
Okay, thank you so much. Hello, my name is Alexandra Todericiu. I'm a PhD student at Babes-Bolyai University in Cluj-Napoca, and I'm really thrilled to be here today virtually and present to you our work called Retaining Women in Computer Science, the Good, the Bad, and the Ugly Sides. No pun intended to the famous movie, even though we kind of inspired a bit from its title. All right, so let's jump into it and let's discuss about the motivation of our work. So as one of my favorite authors likes to say, data tells us a story. So we took the data and the statistics that we got from Informatics Europe, and we analyzed how Romania is doing in regards to the percentage of women studying some kind of subject regarding to computer science. And for Romania, Informatics Europe had data starting from 2014, 2015 until 2018, 2019. And this is how the graph looked like. Even though I must say that Romania is doing much better than other countries in Europe, and in comparison with Europe in general is doing much better. If we look closely, we can see that not much has changed through the course of these 4 or 5 years. The lines are not changing a lot. The course is pretty linear. So we were wondering, why is this happening? And we were trying to find reasons why this won't happen in the future, or to find solutions in order to make the graph look something like this. To have a higher percentage of women in computer science majors, and to have an ascending trajectory. So as another of my favorite authors likes to say, we just started with asking the question why. And that is Simon Sinek. If you read his work, you probably know that he likes to think that behind every success, it's just one word, and that is why. So our goal was to understand the needs of women pursuing computer science majors in order to better support them. And we decided to do that by having an empirical study based on longitudinal exploratory survey. So I want to start with telling you more about our survey and what it consisted of. So we created a survey which had around 30 questions, and we spread it around Romania, and we gave it to around 11, 12 universities, to women that didn't know each other, but they all studied something related with computer science. And in total, we got an impressive number of 202 valid responses. The majority of them were pursuing master degree, 62% of them to be exact. 50% of them were pursuing a PhD in computer science related subjects, and 23% were already academic staff. Another interesting thing was the percentage of them which were pursuing their studies in a computer science area, but also working in IT companies. Around 80% of them were studying master's degree. 80% of the masters were working in IT companies. 50% of the PhDs were working in IT companies, and around 10% of academia staff were working in IT companies as well. So a lot of our masters female students were also working in IT companies, which is a very common practice in Romania whatsoever, but the number is just astonishing. Okay, so through the course of our survey, we followed two line of thought, and as our title already suggested to you, we studied the good, what were the most important factors that attract and sustain women on academic career path in computer science, and the bad and the ugly, what are the main issues driving women to drop out of academic career in computer science. As a spoiler alert, we think that the good overshadows the bad and the ugly, but it is up to you to decide after I finish my presentation. All right, so let's start with the good. This was, we selected just some of the questions that we asked in order for you to have a better understanding, but through the course of our actual paper, we kind of described all the questions that we gave. So I want to start with a question with multiple answers that we gave to our participants, and that is what made you decide to continue your academic studies? And the majority of them, and when I say the majority, is more than half of all the answers that we got, told us that they decided to continue their academic studies because they follow their passion, or because they are interested in research, or because of the work-life balance, which were really important factors for us. Then going forward, we also asked an open-end question, and we for each answer, we tried to select some keywords that best describe those answers and map those keywords to labels in order to have a better graphical understanding. And if we look at the data and the graphical representation of these open-end answers, we can see that the majority of women find their motivation in personal development. And when I say personal development, I think about improving their knowledge, being challenged in doing what they love, but also because they are interested in a career in academia, teaching, or just doing research. So as a conclusion to this, we realized that the good behind pursuing career in academic science, in computer science, is personal development, career opportunities, research and teaching activities, but only if those are accompanied by desire and passion, because we clearly saw that desire and passion were the main two reasons which kept women in academic studies. All right. Going to the next topic, not so pink, the bad and the ugly. We again have a question with multiple answer, where we studied the main dropout reasons why women did not want to continue their studies in computer science. And the reason that overshadowed the other was the financial reasons. And when I say financial reasons, I'm thinking about financial reasons in comparison with business environment. And we can see that business environment is kind of everywhere in the majority of answers that we got, because the second reason most answered was business environments offer more career perspectives. And also that achieving results and appreciation is harder in academia than it is in business environments. But also that excessive bureaucracy, it's kind of a common theme in academia, let's say. Again, we had an open-end question regarding the disadvantages and the reasons of dropout and perceived difficulties, and this is how the graph looked like. And the conclusion that we drawn from all of this is that there are certainly a number of disadvantages and difficulties, but the main risks lie in financial factors. A lot of women consider that the workload is just too much. And we realized from the open-end questions that there are some recurring feelings among our participants, such as feeling overwhelmed or stressed while pursuing a career in academic studies in computer science. All right, so regarding the future, we would like to take everything that we learned from this survey and work towards transforming these threats into opportunities. And the next steps would be to find possible solutions in order to increase number of women in computer science. And to be more exact, we were thinking that we can take our results and shape them in form of policies that will of course, first of all, apply on the level of educational institutes, the institutes where we come from. And as a boomerang effect, hopefully they will spread among other universities. And in this manner, we can find solutions and regulations or alternatives in order to just increase the number of women in computer science. Thank you for your attention. That was all from my side. If you have any questions whatsoever, I'll be happy to take them. And if you want to write to any of us, these are our email addresses, and we'll be happy to keep in touch with you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. So, any question from our audience?
Well,
Maybe
I can ask one.
Yeah, sure.
So how do you think those results, maybe I missed it in the beginning, but I think this survey was just for women, right?
Yes.
So how would you compare the ugly part with the answers you would get from men? Because the idea of stress and being overwhelmed, I mean, I don't know if it's much different.
Indeed, maybe these two feelings are common between men and women, but yeah, our study was focused only on women, on women participants. It's an interesting thought. I will just write it down. It's a really good idea to see how men answer to these questions as well. We will consider it in the future. Thank you for your input.
Thank you. Any other question or comment? So actually, how did you do your survey? Was it like online survey or focus group discussion? Or
So we had contacts from a lot of universities from Romania. When I say contacts, I mean academic staff. So we just contacted the academic staff that we knew from certain universities, and we asked them to send a general email to the students and ask them if they have 10-15 minutes of their lives to complete the survey. And this is how we got the answers.
Okay, so actually you didn't have any kind of interaction with the participants, so it was totally
just
online.
a general email. Yes.
Yeah, actually, what was your sample size? How many students participated in this survey?
So we received a number of 202 valid answers. We received more, but only 202 were really serious valid responses.